Hey everyone, this is Professor Labs, of course, and I am here today at my local beach because what better way to spend a day in the middle of the week? Um, I'll be working later, but at least in the morning by going for a quick beach clean. And I wanted to do a video on particularly winter beach cleaning because I wrote about this in my guidebook how a lot of people they think beach cleaning and they think summer, people on the beach throwing garbage everywhere, and that is a problem. That is oftentimes a source of coastal waste and ocean plastic and all that awful stuff. But um, much more of plastic waste in particular and just beach garbage in general does come from inland runoff. In fact, on my drive down to the beach, you could see all along the road just littered with, bottles, drink cups, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, wrappers, everything that people, toss out. Their windows fall out of garbage pails that tip over, and inevitably much of that runs off into streams and storm drains. And you can see the process right up the road. It's along the road by the creek. Eventually rain washes into the creek. You see it here at the beach, days later, weeks later, months later, it doesn't matter. And so for that reason, it's important to, I think, try to, if you have the time and chance, get out here in the winter as well, because while people don't think that this waste is collecting and um, you know, being a real source of the problem, it in fact is just as much. Again, people do leave their stuff at the beach as well, their garbage, but I think a higher percentage from the research I've done actually comes from this runoff, which, again, it goes out into the harbor that we just drove past, and it comes up onto the beach. And eventually, if people don't get it here, like me, and there are others who have been out this winter, um, again, it will wash back off into the water and then wind up by the spring and summer to some more remote places where people just aren't going to get to it at all. And of course, as I'll cover in other videos, and I have covered in some videos, that leads to all sorts of problems both on the larger scale and the smaller scale. But that's a conversation for another day. But rest assured, even cleaning at your local beach does have a very localized impact on the marine ecosystem and marine life. The example I always give is last year I even saw a seagull who couldn't take off because he had a wire fishing line snagged around his legs. So it makes a difference to the individual just by you being an individual and doing what you can. I mean, even a 20-minute clean out here can make all the difference. You'd be surprised in a lot of spots by how much trash you can wind up finding and picking up. So I have some new gear with me today in addition to my regular gear. I have these eco bags for starters, which I'm very excited to try. I use these biodegradable bags, or I'm trying to find a good biodegradable bag to use, because a lot of heavy duty plastic bags, I mean, those are great if you're hauling a lot of trash, 10, 15, 20 pounds worth maybe, but even then they're they're built to such a standard that it's like, I don't know if you really need bags that are that strong. And certainly plastic bags are, kind of a waste in general if they're not being used for real heavy duty purposes, for sure. So I have these biodegradable bags that are made in large part, I believe, with cornstarch. So they probably aren't nearly as durable as your traditional bag, but I'm curious to check them out, see how they work, because again, for a quick 15, 20-minute beach clean, um, where you're not getting a lot in terms of raw weight, it should be fine. It should hold up just fine. That's why I love the eco bags for that reason. It is cold out here. It's about, I don't know, 35 degrees or so Fahrenheit, so close to 0 Celsius. Um, and I don't know the wind conditions. I haven't stepped out of my car just yet. It's at that tenuous point. This is something, maybe we'll call it winter beach clean piece of advice number one. Well, number two, one is that there's still trash out here, so come out and clean it when you can. Number two is that people are often dissuaded by the cold rather than what they should really be dissuaded by, which is the wind. I much rather beach clean in sub-freezing temperatures. I've done it plenty of times. You just bundle up in layers. That's another step 2, bundle up in layers, I guess. Or step 3, bundle up in layers. Anyways, I'd much rather beach clean in frigid cold with no wind than above freezing with wind, because stuff starts to whirl around, it blowing in your face, and it can be quite discouraging at even, moderate wind speeds, anything above like 10-15 miles per hour. So we'll see. Hopefully, I don't know which direction on the beach I'm going to go. I went down to the dunes last time and got a fair amount, but I haven't been down to the private houses yet. So I'll either do that today or I'll have another video where I'll do that next time, because that's a whole other potential can of worms, beach cleaning on private property. So let's get out there, see the conditions, and hopefully do some picker-upping. So I don't know if you can hear me over the wind and the waves, but gotten a fair amount of trash so far, and it is windy and it is cold. Like I said, the wind is the much bigger factor here, so I don't know how much longer I want to be out here, and I almost got a full bag here, so I'm gonna finish cleaning up along the shore here. Found a lot of trash in the reeds along the water so far, so shouldn't take too long to finish filling up, and then we'll reassess what we got back in the car. Yikes, that I was right, that is cold out there. Again, the wind is just this is right at the cusp of what I would say is tolerable for wind with beach cleaning. Again, it's probably close to 15 miles per hour, and it feels so much colder with the wind. And again, stuff, you try to pick up wrappers and lighter pieces and they just fly all about. But my hands, even with my gloves, I'm cold, which is why I say it's so important to have layers. And it's always easier to take off layers than to add layers that you don't have, right? I wish I could start my car, but that's against my environmental sentiments to sit idle running heat. So I'll bear with it for the end of this video here. No problem. So the eco bag actually worked pretty well. In fact, funny story, part of the reason why I'm so cold is because I spent maybe 10-15 minutes out there talking to a woman who saw me cleaning and jumped out of her car to help. So that was an interesting conversation just about beach cleaning and how she can get involved. So I told her all about my group and my book, which I will link below. And she seemed really interested, so that's pretty cool. It's fun to meet people who want to do what they can, so that's nice. And I gave her some of the bags because they were working out so well. So I don't have any on me because I gave her them. Yeah, so these eco bags that are cornstarched, actually they're like the perfect size. They're maybe I don't know, 2.5 feet long, and you're able to fill it up very quickly. So good for a short 20-minute beach clean maybe. Multiple bags you can fill up in maybe 15-20 minutes, no problem, if there's a lot of trash like there usually is places. But you see here how already we got a there you go, we got a leak. The plastic straws, my nemesis, there they are, poking through the bag here. So they are pretty brittle, these bags, but again, they get the job done. And yeah, we got a pretty wide spread of stuff here. I probably shouldn't go around reaching in this bag without my gloves on, but whatever. I showed some of this on the beach already. You know, a lot of this are just plastic wrappers and bits, but there's all sorts of other weird things like electrical wires. It's like, or this is electrical wire tubing. Again, people aren't leaving that at the beach. That's running off from wherever. So, glow sticks. I think this is an old glow stick. Find those all the time. People might be raving on the beach, but I don't know. There's probably other sources of that as well. Water bottle, classic, right? Might be able to clean this and recycle it though. We'll see. I got some other bottles in here too that I'm hoping to recycle, so we will see. Again, like more electric wiring stuff. So a lot of this stuff, just to prove my point of what I was trying to say earlier, shotgun shell, find these a lot. Again, as far as I know, I haven't seen people coming here to the beach to go shotgun shooting, but I think it runs off from, you know, hills and other places where people are hunting. So not all of this, and I think certainly not most of it, is coming from the beach itself, which is why, like I say, there's more trash here now than even oftentimes in the summer when I come here to clean as well. So important to come out, and you know, if you have the time, 15-20 minutes, I would say check the forecast. I have more winter tips and advice in my guidebook, which again you can get on Amazon. I'll link below. But in general, winter beach cleans are great. I was telling the woman I met that I have some events that I'm hoping to do soon. I've done them in the past where I make hot chocolate or coffee or something, because there's a concession stand here that I realized they shut off the water tube, but if I bring my own water, they don't shut off the electric in the winter. So I can use my mobile coffee making gear, of which I have too much, to do like a hot chocolate event. And people seem to like free stuff, and they come out to beach clean for hot chocolate for sure in the winter. Something fun to do. Yeah, so I didn't get down to the private beach today because it was just too damn cold and windy, but hopefully that will be something that we do next time. I'd like to talk more about that and show you, you know, exactly what you can find there. So lots more tips and advice to come, I hope. And we'll have more soon. So until then, happy cleaning, and as always, I guess, see you on the beach.